Morning sunlight has changed my life, but maybe not for the ways that you think. You see, last year I heard Dr. Andrew Huberman talking about the benefits of getting at least 5 to 30 minutes of morning sunlight in your eyes every single day. Things like improved alertness, mood, and sleep. All these sounded great to me, and so about 60 days ago I set out to see if getting morning sunlight actually impacted my experience of day-to-day life. At first I found it tough to get up and force myself to go outside in the morning. I was so used to getting up and going straight into work. It's winter, and even though I'm in Texas, some mornings are pretty cold, and I don't live within walking distance of nature. But at the time, I really wasn't in the mood for excuses. I knew this was something I needed to do, and so I woke up one morning and I drove to a park near my house. I also wanted to see if I could make this morning sunlight thing be the very first thing I did every single day. So that meant no distractions. No checking my phone, no catching up on email first thing in the morning, no waking up and going straight into work or blasting music. I just went from my bed to my car to the park. Almost immediately, I saw a huge improvement in all the things that Dr. Huberman had talked about. My sleep improved, I was tired early in the evening, I wasn't getting peaks and crashes in my energy like I used to, and I was more alert throughout the day. All these things made a really big and immediate impact on my life. But then there were the other things. Every morning I walked the same route. No phone to distract me, no music playing in my ears, no people to talk to, just me, nature, and God. I prayed, I listened, I talked, I caught up, I processed, and I thought. The first week or so, my mind was just continually racing. I wasn't used to being alone. But then I slowly started to notice things. I noticed the difference in the weather every day. I noticed the birds and what time they came out in the morning. I noticed the spot where the sun would come up over the horizon. I noticed the way the trees blew in the wind and how the dew covered my shoes as I walked. I noticed how uncomfortable it was for me to be alone with my thoughts sometimes. I noticed how many things I used in my life to distract myself from facing reality or uncomfortable feelings or situations that I didn't want to see. Sometimes it's just easier that way. But the more I walked, the quieter my mind got. And I found over time that what started as an experiment with the sun became so much more. I began to feel connected to the present in a way that I've rarely felt throughout my entire life. My mind began to turn off. The first hour of the day became a time for me to connect and reflect and sit in silence, solitude, to connect with God, to connect with myself, to connect with nature, to put life into perspective. There's many times over the last 60 days where I found myself overwhelmed at the richness of the moment, without any outside stimulus. And really feeling like I can hear God so much more when I'm just quiet. And I've never found that in my life before. It's something that I never knew was there. There's something about the natural rhythms of nature that force you to be in the present. I started to notice that nature moved at a much slower pace than I did. While my mind was off thinking about my personal life or my work or the stuff that I had to do that day, nature just kept moving at the same pace, the same slow, steady, quiet, silent pace that it does. And I found that the more that I could get in tune with that, the more peaceful I felt, the more present I felt, the more I could just let go of a lot of the stuff that I was processing and be there in the present. There's so much happening around us in every single moment, and often we're so caught up in our own heads that we can't see what's going on around us. I know that I spent years distracting myself and not dealing with uncomfortable feelings because I didn't know how. And I found that through this process, just sitting with what was coming up and trusting that there was peace on the other side of it, that I did find that peace. And that was maybe the most important part of the entire thing. The sense of presence that I found through what started out as an experiment is something that I'll never trade for anything. It's something that's carried with me throughout the day into conversations with my friends and family, into my work, into my workouts, into my life. And it's made a tremendous impact on the way that I live my life. I feel less frantic, less anxious, more peaceful, more kind, and more trusting and more connected with God and the world around me. So yeah, morning sunlight is great. I feel more energized, more ready for the day, I sleep better, and my overall health has improved. But really it's been about so much more than that. On a practical level, I've found that buffering the time between my waking hours and my working hours has helped me so much in balancing life and having a different perspective on things. And I know that not everybody has an hour to walk every morning and just be with yourself. I know people have responsibilities and things they have to do. But for me, just even taking 5 minutes of time in between waking up and doing whatever I'm meant to do that day It lowers the stress level. I feel more peaceful. And so I think that's something that anybody can incorporate in their life. If you want to learn about the science behind getting morning light, I'll leave some links in the description, but I'm not a scientist, and that's not why I made this video. So I'll let you learn it from them. If you're watching this video and you want to give this a try for a week or a month or your lifetime, like I'm going to, let me know how it goes in the comments of this video. I'd love to hear about it and to just share experiences. And if you enjoy videos like this, subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be making more of them. And I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.